when I get introduced to tech, it was easy. I could do good as my fellow brothers was doing. So, and then the I would say it's like a dream gap where you feel like what you think you can do, and then what actually you can do. So when you get introduced to it, you realize it's not that difficult.
Welcome to another episode of Mic for Her. We are championing a movement, Her in a Million. My name is Zuba Mutesi. I'm excited to be hosting another thrilling episode, proudly brought to you by the Ministry of ICT in collaboration with ILO and 63 Creative Agency. Now, this is a movement that is not just about creating change. It's about ensuring that the Rwandan girl child, the Rwandan woman, is entering a male-dominated field, not just as a user, but as an innovator, as a problem solver, as a creator. We're going to be diving into the story of an incredible young woman who's not just incredible in what she does, but also the impact that she is building. With me today is Aline Niwemusinge. She's a software developer, a product designer, and the proud founder and CEO of WithinTech Rwanda. WithinTech Rwanda is an organization bringing tech skills to the very communities that are often left out. Now, we all know that the future is digital, and it is important that no one is left behind. And Aline and her team are part of the people that are making sure that that does not happen. From coding boot camps to hands-on software training, she's helping young Rwandans, especially the girls, discover that they too can be part of the future. Aline, it is my honor to welcome you to Mic for Her.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here.
So, you are the founder of WithinTech Rwanda. WithinTech. I imagine that this name came with some thought, right?
Yes.
Why WithinTech?
It's WithinTech because I myself think in technology there is everything that you need. Whether you're a doctor, whether you are doing agriculture, whether you are doing anything, the technology is going to be everything to anyone.
Yes.
So then I think the name itself, WithinTech, is telling people, telling girls, telling anyone that within technology, you can do anything and you can do better.
And I love it because you said for the girls, within technology, you can do it, you can do better. Now, you are the founder, right? It's actually not often that we see a young woman leading a tech business. What was that like for you? First of all, what made you want to start this?
I would say it's my journey that made me found an organization like WithinTech.
Take me on the journey with you.
So growing up, I wasn't grown in the rural areas. So the first time that I get introduced to technology or sort of coding and everything was the time I went to a school called Rwanda Coding Academy. So when I was in Orevo, it was my dream. I was dreaming being a coder. I was on my side. I thought it's gonna be cool.
Yes.
I'm gonna wake up in the morning, take my computer, go in the office. On my side, it was like I'm going to be amazing, and everybody's going to look at me and see her. She's doing great. And then, so the idea of funding an organization like WithinTech was after I get into coding, and then I get to know what it looks like being in tech as a girl. So I would say in Rwanda we have so many people who are our role models that we look up to. Maybe we could say our minister, Paola. So, and then I was like, I'm going to be like her when I grow up.
I love it.
And then, so that's how I come up with an idea of WithinTech, for also to help other girls, because people feel like tech is only for boys. And then when you're a girl and then you want to be in tech, they'll be like, oh, what do you mean? You have to sit down and relax. It's
Marry,
so hard.
have a family, wife.
Yes. And then when I get introduced to tech, it was easy. I could do good as my fellow brothers was doing. So, and then I would say it's like a dream gap where you feel like what you think you can do, and then what actually you can do. So when you get
Ooh.
introduced to it, you realize it's not that difficult.
I like that, a dream gap.
Yeah.
What you think you can do and what you can actually do.
Exactly.
Right? So, as a young woman building a career in tech, we're talking about Her in a Million. This is a movement. And I'm sure you're part of the Her in the Million that we're talking about. Because as a young lady growing up in the rural, I'm sure that even within your circle of friends, not many of you would have thought of starting a tech company or doing something as big as WithinTech. So what does building a career in tech mean for you as part of the champions of Her in a Million?
Okay, building a career in tech as a woman mean a lot to me because I started from zero. That's how we used to call it, from zero to hero.
That's it. Zero to Shiro.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. And then it means a lot as we're in Rwanda, of a country that is bringing a lot of programs for young people. We are talking about 1 million coda, which is a big vision for Rwanda, and it will all be possible if the initiatives like WithinTech are more like helping the government to get to their goal very easy. So and then I would just say being in a tech as a woman is very nice, and also will help you to build an amazing product.
And I like what you said about helping the government. I think our government has done an incredible job with not only having women representing us in leadership, but also seeing more women stepping out into different industries. But you said something about helping the government. The government can't do everything, right?
Exactly.
So that's why it is exciting to see initiatives like WithinTech. Now, your path into tech didn't happen overnight. You've told me that you started off in the rural. What moment when you go to the coding academy? You said it all started in the Rwanda Coding Academy. You found the spark. You said, this is something I want to do. What moment in that experience said, you know what? This is my path. This is what I'm going to do.
Oh, okay. That's a good question. And I wouldn't say that I knew what I was doing at the first. I just went there. We started simple learning how to use the computer because, honestly speaking, I didn't know. I just
You
knew.
walked in with no skills about coding. You didn't even know anything about coding.
I could only see the people in a movie, like we used to watch movie, and then people are hacking, and you can see
the system is going crazy.
Yeah.
So you walk in, no computer skills. Wow, how did it go?
So yeah, I could say me and my colleagues were on the same stage. We was very new to coding, and I couldn't think of myself being a coder. I just like, let me go and check. My mom was like, go, this code is good. Go
Why
and
not?
see. And then, but when I reached there, I found out there are so many girls, like
Fantastic.
other girls, who are doing amazing work. Because once we reached there the first day, the one thing they could do for us is showing what the amazing system are built by RSA student. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is nice. So in next year, I'm gonna be at the same as these people. So that's what, And then after reaching there, we get introduced to everything. And then we were learning, and it's happened that those things that I used to think is for white people coding, it's easy actually. What you have to do is to get introduced to it.
Exactly.
And once you reach there, you find out it's not that
to
difficult.
build the curiosity.
Yes.
So we're talking about a movement here. Her in a Million is not just about telling girls to enter tech. We're encouraging them. And one of the ways that I see that encouragement and this movement going is WithinTech. You're part of doing boot camps, hands-on training. Tell us more about why you chose that way in terms of your work, in terms of building your career in tech. Because your career in tech is essentially revolving around people, meeting people where they are. Tell me about that.
Okay, let me say that I've been a good girl, and I like sharing. And I would say once I get introduced to all things like tech, starting to, my first work, doing website. Most of my friends will see me very busy. I wasn't actually available as the way I used to be. So, and then they will also want to know, like, what are you doing? Can't you, as where are you? We are having a party. Where are you? So then I used to tell them, oh, I've got a gig somewhere. I'm busy. I will tell you once I'm home. And they would tell, oh, Aline, I want to know what you're doing as well. I want to learn coding. I want to know how I can build a website. Do you think I can do it? And when someone says that, I'm like, I was like you before. I knew nothing, and it didn't take me a long time to learn. So you can
I was
also,
like you before, and it didn't take me a long time to learn.
yes. And then and so many my friends, as I said, would want me to teach them, and and then I come up with an idea. What if there is a community or a place where the students who are very curious to know about tech, we can help them. And then I come up with an idea. I started when I was still at Rwanda Coding Academy, and then I told my instructor about the idea I have of empowering girls, and also not only girls but young people who think they can't do
what you're doing.
Yeah, and then my school really supported me at the first. We started simple, going around Nyabihu, because that's where my school is located, going in the different schools. We were young as well. We was also in the uniforms.
Still young, girl.
Bold. And then we can show them that we are doing tech. I'm also coding. They couldn't believe it, but when we start telling them, oh, this is how you do it, start from here and sell this in your PC, and then write your first line of code.
Change.
Yes.
And you know what? That's what this movement is all about.
Yes.
I love that your journey is one that started with curiosity. You wanted to know. You knew about this thing. You knew that you could potentially pursue it. Once you were there, you took the challenge on. And what I love to hear is that you've centered your work not only around tech, but ensuring that this movement is one that is bringing everyone forward. And being able to bring those resources closer is one thing that is important. And you also do something else that is very important, which is representation. For a young girl in Nyabihu, for a young girl in Nyamasheke, for a young girl in Kayonza, representation matters. They want to know that a young lady can go from the rural, get into a coding academy, be able to learn the skills, and even go as far as starting her own business. So what do you think that women bring into the tech space?
Okay, women bring a lot to the table when it comes to tech. Naturally women are into details. We know ourselves. Yes. And then when there is there's a tech
a website, development, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Tech is vast.
Yes.
So whenever they choose to enter tech in whatever caliber, I know they're very detail oriented. Yes.
Yes. And then once you're doing a project and there's a woman perspective in the process, we can say that we can be sure that solution gonna satisfy the clients, because women are going to know a lot more than men. They're into details, and also I think when we are building all the campaign, her in a million, and then we leave the women behind, it's going to be a problem, since Rwanda is helping, is a developing country, especially in tech industry. So we need to take everyone
with us.
And women are very capable, and they can do better and good. So women can bring a lot to the table when it comes to details and also skills. Women, I'm telling you, when a girl is into something, he's 100% in it. You cannot
take her away from it.
Yes.
Now, this is why we also talk about the importance of perspective. Her in a Million is not just about telling women to enter the industry. It's encouraging them, right? You're a young lady, you went to school in Nyabihu, you just told me. Now, for a young lady in Nyabihu right now, she's sitting, she's watching you right now. She's like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it. But what advice would you have for her in terms of tackling challenges? Actually, let's start with the challenges. What are some of the challenges that you've faced as a young Rwandan woman entering the tech space?
Okay, maybe I would say for me, I didn't face much challenges.
So it was a smooth journey. I'm happy, girl.
Yeah, the government is doing a lot. And I would say once I was in school, we were all doing the same thing. Like we were all learning, working on different projects, girls and boys. So we were able to know, oh, Aline is good at UX UI design. So if you have a project and you want a designer, please call her, and everybody knows that. And we know Cedric or someone else is better in backend or front. Those are the technical terms that we use. So we couldn't say, oh, she's a girl, I can't tell her no. We already know that she's doing great, and then
we're encouraging each other.
And then we all work on the same project and also deliver the product to the market.
And I love hearing that your journey has been smooth, because that also goes to show how far we've come as a country, as a society, in terms of ensuring that women are entering different industries and they're comfortable. So now let's go back to the message that we have for this movement. It's a movement that is all about making sure that her in a million, we're diminishing that number, whereby women have taken over so much so that we're outnumbering them. So for a young lady, you've come from Nyabihu, you've entered the Rwanda Coding Academy, you've graduated, now you're also empowering the next generation of young women that are going to be taking up the space. But what encouragement, actually, where should they start? What is a good place to start when building a career in tech? Foundation.
Okay. And then I would just say, then join the next bootcamp of WithinTech Rwanda.
You heard it here first.
Okay, but honestly speaking, the government itself, and not even government, if you're a girl out there and then you want to be in tech, there's so many programs, there's so many ways you can get started. The first thing that you have to put away and forget about is that it's for boys. You can do it, and you don't even need to fit in tech.
But I'm sure you've heard those comments before.
Yes.
And how do you respond to those? How do you navigate those?
Okay, let me just give you a quick story about my first job.
I love a good story.
Okay, and I once applied for a company which was hiring a software developer who can build their website. I applied. They couldn't ask me my age. I only applied and uploaded my CV, what I did, and what I will do once I get that job. And then once I met the boss, he was like, wait, are you the one to do the work?
Uh-oh.
And then I was like, yes, it's me. And then the boss was like, okay, he was like, okay, we will see. I know you get stuck somewhere. And then I think because the website wasn't a big thing, it was just a business website. On the second day, he asked me, hey, hi, how are you? How are you doing? And then how is it so far? Maybe he was expecting I haven't even yet.
For you to be confused or what, you haven't started.
And then I showed him what I have done so far. And then he was like, are you the one who's doing this? And I'm like, yes, I'm the one who's doing it, and it's not even that difficult. I'll be done in 2 days.
Period.
And then he wasn't satisfied with that. And then he asked me, how did you learn these difficult things? Do you think you will get a husband with all these things? And then
will a husband get me? How about, should have asked, will a husband get me?
So, and then he was asking me, oh, where did you study? I'm like, I'm in software development, Rwanda Coding Academy. And then he was like, oh, wow, I know the school. You are doing great. And then I want to say, don't actually be there to show that you are capable as a girl. You just do your work.
And the work will speak for you.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into the stereotypes. You see, now you've told me the perfect story of where will you find a husband? But we have seen it. Our very own minister is a mom, she is a wife, and she fulfills her role perfectly. So to all the people that have these stereotypes, in building a movement, you have to break down these stereotypes bit by bit so that by the time we get to our kids, they don't even know what a stereotype is. So what would you say to a girl who's curious about tech but doubts herself?
I just tell her, go for it. It's not that difficult. You just go for it. You will tell me later.
The hardest part is starting.
Starting is the hardest part. And starting, you have so many platforms. You can start from her in a million, 1 million coders. So many within tech, we are having so many amazing bootcamp, fun one. Whenever you see something, you just go for it, and you will tell me later.
Now we're going to zoom out of all of this incredible story as we get to our conclusion. Her in a million. We're talking about a movement that is building a future where the Rwandan girl child is comfortable and is empowered and has the right resources and a platform such as this to be encouraged. So how do you feel women entering the space is building a brighter future for Rwanda?
I would say women entering in tech, it's something great for the country, because if we want the country to be among the best in tech industry, which is the one that is going to rule the whole world in the future with AI,
exactly,
with all these things where we are seeing, and then you left one part of country which is women. That's gonna be we can't afford that.
We can't even make it to the global scale if there's.
We can't. So I would just say if the country is moving, it's glowing like this. Our country is growing so fast. Also, women are part of the development of the country. So we will say women are doing great, and yeah, we have to be there, and we are already there, of course.
We are already there, and we need more there. So as we come to the end, I want you to give a word of encouragement, because there's going to be a lot of young women who are going to be tuning into this. A lot of young women who are going to be looking into your story as well to be encouraged by it. But I want you to leave them with something so that they remember that, listen, Aline told me one day, this and this can happen for me. What would you tell her? And actually, how would you encourage her to join the Her in a Million movement?
Okay, I would just tell, as I said before, the hardest part is to get started. If you are a girl, a young girl, whenever you are in senior 1, in a senior 2, or anywhere, just know that the tech industry is open. You just have to have the curiosity to start.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I'm telling you, you will get so many support. The government, the people around you, the internet itself, the internet.
It's,
because I would say, after getting into tech, you will just know that a lot of things you will teach it yourself. Because what the lecturer or a teacher or whoever or a mentor will give you is an introduction. So your curiosity to know more, or to get, because we've seen the coding, or it's not about coding. There is designing, there is
development, front end, back. There's so much. But I love what you said. Curiosity starts it all, right? And I think also curiosity is what started this movement. Curious as to why young women are not entering the space. Curious as to why we need these initiatives. Curious as to how we can bring them in. So Aline, allow me to thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I think what WithinTech is doing is incredible, and I only wish that the impact continues to touch from Nyabihu to Nyamasheke to Gikongoro, all corners of Rwanda, and hopefully even Africa at large, so that the young Rwandan woman, East African woman, African woman is encouraged and has a space that she can come to and feel within tech. So you've heard it here, folks. You have to have the curiosity to enter the industry. So my young ladies, WithinTech offers boot camps, hands-on training. This is your sign to tap into these opportunities. Don't say that there's no platforms, because you've heard it from Aline. She started with a Rwanda Coding Academy. You could start there as well. So this is your sign to go ahead and tap into the different resources that are actually available to you. Before you even ask, what can the government do for me? What can anyone do for me? It starts with being curious. It starts with doing your research, and then you have to dare to do. That's been it for another episode of Mike for Her. Catch us on the next one. We are still creating a movement of ensuring that every young woman is encouraged, empowered, and has the space. I've been your host, Zuba Mutesi, and I'll catch you on the next one.